Hi everyone, welcome again. Now we are going to discuss class method. In the last lecture, we have already discussed that what is instance method. Let's discuss what is class method. So class method is kind of function which return class method as output. Okay, what do you mean by this thing? Don't worry, we will explain it by writing the code into Python. So what is the syntax for it? So we use class method and then we write the function. Okay. Okay, just a minute. Let me show you the example. So it will be easy for us to understand. So we can create class method by two way. One is class method, other is a using annotation. Okay, and we can call any class method by two ways. Okay, so like this is the name of class, and then this will be the function. Or you can do like this: name of the class and the function. Okay, so since we are working with the class method, we use CLC as a keyword. Okay, now let's explain it. So let's suppose this is a function. This is a class student. So inside the student we have one instance method, and now you can see we are creating a class method by using annotation. Okay, so here we are passing as a, since we are creating class method, so we are passing CLC as a keyword, and now this function is returning something from the class itself. Are you getting my point? So that point I was discussing when I started my videos. Okay, hope you are getting my point. Okay, so if you are not getting, let's implement it and let's do some experiment, then you will appreciate it. Okay, what we're talking. Just a minute. Okay. uh, okay, just a minute. Okay, so let's say we have one class student, so I'm just doing the same code practice over here, and let's define one constructor. Okay, so you can try code along with me, so it will be easy for you to understand things. Okay, I'm also declaring one variable here. Okay, and then let's say we are taking A and B, and I'm just initializing this A and B. Okay, so I just initialize it. Now I will create, so this is the instance method. Now I will create the class method. So how to create the class method? You have to use annotation. So this annotation is known as a class method. So I'm writing here class method. Now you see color are changed. Now I'm defining define info. Now I'm passing CLC as a keyword. Okay, so CLC here is a keyword, and now using CLC I can return anything. Okay, so let's suppose I want to return anything, means what? Anything from the class. Okay, it will return the class thing. So if I'm CLC dot, if I'm saying this one. Okay, now let's create the object of it. Okay, so if I will say like this, and then I will say info. Okay, so sorry, we need to pass the parameter, but here we are creating the object. So instead of the object we are calling the class method, so we no need to do like this. See, we are able to get it. This is a one way to do it. Other way is what? If we want to do like this, we just need to pass the parameter also, because as soon as you create the object of that class, automatically this function will call. In the last lecture we already studied this thing. See, got my point? So that is a point which we mention over here. So the class method can be called either using class like this or like this. Okay, so hope you got my point. Now let's come to the point called static method. So static methods, you can think it's very uh, like you know already, actually just need to understand it. So static method you can call without an object for that class. Okay, what do you mean by this thing? By using directly using the class name you can call it. Okay, for an example, see, so here you have mentioned static method. If you are mentioning instead of class method, you are mentioning static method. Now see how you are calling it. You are not creating the object by using the class name. You're directly taking it. What do you mean by this thing? If you know, if you're from the, if you know pandas, okay, so what is pandas? If you are saying import, so pandas is a class, and then the in the pandas there is something called read CSV. So this is a method. This is a static method actually. Are you getting my point? Same thing is here. Okay, so I hope we are clear with the three different type of method. Okay, good. So now next we are going to learn different types of inheritance. So what do you mean by inheritance? uh, it is very useful and powerful concept for the object oriented programming, because if you use this concept, it will help you to use the feature of an existing class. uh, what do you mean by this thing? Let's suppose there is a one application. Okay, and in this application there are certain functionality f1, f2, f3. Okay, now I'm going to develop another app 2, and I know that uh, some of the function is already implemented. Can I borrow it? How? So I need to implement, I need to take the feature from existing application actually. So this is only possible if you implement the concept of inheritance. Okay, so I hope I'm making some sense. So inheritance is the process of acquiring the properties of one class to another class. uh, okay, so I hope I'm clear. So if you're new to the object oriented programming, so I'm for that reason I'm explaining what is a parent class. Okay, so basically parent class is like that, which provide the feature for another class. So here app1 will be the parent class for this app2. Okay, so parent class is also known as a base class or super class. uh, so this is your child class. That means what? Which receive the feature from another class. The child class is also known as a derived class or subclass. See, this is a very important question. Point you can note down it. In the inheritance, the class, that is a child class, acquires a feature from its parents. Okay, but parents is not going to take feature from child class. Okay, so there are different type of inheritance which we can implement in Python. So I will explain one by one. So the very first one is a simple inheritance. Okay, basically known as a single inheritance. There is something called multiple inheritance, something called multi-label inheritance. So if you are going for any interview, so these are the very important question. What is the difference between multiple inheritance and multi-label inheritance? Hierarchical inheritance and hybrid inheritance. So it is easy to understand by looking at this diagram. See, this is a parent class, and from this parents class, you are just borrowing some feature. Okay, so this is going to be the example of simple inheritance. We'll implement it, don't worry. Okay, multiple inheritance means what? So let's suppose there is a app 1 and there is a app 2. So there are some features f1, f2, and there are sub feature f3 and f4. So now let's suppose you are going to build another app. Let's suppose app 3, and you know that you want to build a feature f1 and f4. So why we need to build? No need to build now, because we have already developed this thing into another app, so we can borrow it. So we are borrowing something from app 1 and something from app 2. So this is example of multiple inheritance. Okay, multi-level inheritance is very straightforward. Okay, so you are receiving the feature from this class, and this class receiving the feature from the parent class. So there are label involved. Okay. Hierarchical inheritance means what? Multiple child class taking the feature from one parent class. Okay. What is hybrid inheritance? Okay, it's very simple. It's a combination of these two. If you observe, hierarchical and multi-level. So this is a let me write it. So label 2, label 1, and label 0. So this class taking feature from this class also taking the feature from this, and this child class taking the feature from this two. Okay. Okay. So I think just reading the theory will not help you. Let's implement it. To how to implement it, let's write the code over here. Okay, so let's first implement the parent class. So class parent, I'm just writing parent class, and I'm saying define. Let me define some function so it will be easy for us to explain the concept. Print I am teacher one from parent class. Okay, so let me repeat. Okay, instead of repeat, let me define one function. Define sal cal, and let's suppose this function will take two parameter. Let's say he need base and the experience. So based on that, he will calculate the salary. I'm saying base plus base into exp, and then experience I will convert into the 0 to 1, between 0 to 1. So I'm multiplying with this number, and then I'm returning salary. Okay, this is my child class. So let's suppose there is a, like, I'm going to create another application. Okay, so you can think like that. Let me explain it. So this is a one application. So inside this application, we have two different functionality. One is feature one, other is a salary cal. Let's suppose I'm going to implement another application. Okay, in that application, we need this function. Okay, so instead of implementing it again, we can borrow it, or we can take this feature from the parent class. Okay, that means what? Let me define the child class. So you can give any name. I'm just to make thing easy or simple, I'm writing the child class, and then which class you are going to make your which class you are going to use. So here I'm going to use parent class. Okay, and now let me define it. Feature 2 self, and then let me just write the simple print statement. I am feature 2 from child class. So what is going to happen here? So whatever the feature are available in the parent class, that is also available in the child class now, because child class received the feature from parent class. So now we can see it. So if we create object of it, and then if I will call the function feature 2. Okay, so what we are getting this one. If I will call this one, okay, before that let me call feature 1. You are getting, are you getting my point? So you create the object of the parent class. Since you borrowed, or this class is derived from this class, that means what what are the function are available there, that will be also accessible from this class. Okay, so let's suppose if I want to call this function, so let me pass the some value. See, understood? So this is a single inheritance. Okay, now you can implement. So this is single inheritance which we already implemented. Multiple inheritance, how you can implement it? It's very easy. So go to the diagram, and now you can implement yourself. So we are taking the feature from two different classes into another classes. For an example, so you can this is example of uh, single inheritance. So if you want to multiple inheritance, so let me define another class. Okay, parent 2, and then define let me define one method. Let's say is uh, is applicable. Okay, so here I'm taking one variable, let's say flag. Based on the flag, I will return something. Okay. Okay, so let me do like this. Okay. So if I'm saying if flag equal to true, okay, so I will pass as a boolean. So I will making like this: if flag, then return yes, you are eligible. Else return not eligible. Okay, so I'm writing very short, so don't go with my spelling. Okay. Now, since we are going to adopt function from this class and this class also, so what I will do, I will borrow this also. Okay. And now see, I just run it. Now I run it. So I can call this method also using this child class. So I just need to pass the parameter. Let's suppose I am passing true. Okay, if I'm passing something else, I'm getting it. So this is example of multi-class. Okay, so this is called multiple inheritance. I'm really sorry, that's called multiple inheritance. Now you can also implement multi-level inheritance. So it depend, like it depend problem to problem. So whenever you are implementing your code, so uh, based on your problem statement or based on the situation or condition, you can adopt any of the methodology. Okay, so I hope we are clear with the different types of inheritance. Okay, just give me 2 minutes and then we'll start it again. Okay, so let's continue. So I think we are clear with the different types of inheritance. Okay, I will share this note with you, so you can go through these notes. Just a minute. So we are going to start what is polymorphism. Okay, so what do you mean by polymorphism? So it is a concept of programming, which means multiple forms or more than one form. What do you mean by this thing? For an example here, this is a length function. So now see this length function taking parameter here as a string, and here this is taking as a list, and every time this function length function returning something different. Are you getting my point? So there is like name of the function is same. Okay, name of the function is same, but taking different type, different input. Okay, different data type. Okay, so here like hello is a string, 1 2 3. Here like we are passing list exactly. Are you getting my point? Okay, so basically what happened in Python, everything is an object. Okay, hence by default a function can take anything as an argument, but the execution of the function might fail as every function has some logic that it follows, like this thing. Okay, we will see a real example also, don't worry. Okay, so I have some example from Geeks for Geeks. So this will help you to understand polymorphism in a better way. Okay, just a minute. So what is a polymorphism? So theoretically we can understand means having many form. Okay, in programming, polymorphism means that the same function name but different signatures. So what do you mean by different signature? Different type of input or parameter we are going to take it. See, I can show the example. So see this example here. What is happening? We define a function add x and y. You are going to pass it. So if you are not passing z, automatically it will take 0. So this is a one way to call your function. This is another way to call your function. So what is it? What is a common? So function name is same, but what is not common? The parameter, the signature, what we call basically, is a different. So here we are passing only 2 parameter. Here we are passing the 3 parameter. So this is in a like it's a solid example of polymorphism. Hope I'm making some sense. Okay. Something is called overriding. Okay. So overriding is a type of polymorphism in which a child class which is extending the parent class can provide different definition to any function defined in the parent class as per its own requirement. So for an example, okay, so if you remember, we are implementing this one. So here salary cal is a method from this class. So if this child class is borrowing the method from parent class, this this class is like this class can implement this method as per the requirement. If something need to change, this class can change, like we can change here itself in the child class. Okay, so basically what we are doing, we are overriding. Okay, method overriding or a function overloading. Okay, basically this are going to be same. The type of polymorphism in which we can define a number of method with the same name but with a different number of parameter, as well as the can be different types. Okay, are you getting my point? But in the Python doesn't support overloading on the basis of different number of parameter in a function. Okay, so how to define polymorphic class? It's very easy. And okay, let's implement it. Okay, sure. We will continue from the next lecture. Okay, thank you.